Yeah. I mean, you could sit right there. Yeah. That works. That works.
It's working now. It's live.
Yeah. Let's see here. What's up? So I got my brother here today, special guest. So, we could have talked, we could have prepared a little bit more.
Yeah.
If you can't hear very well, let me know. This is the first time I got a setup like this. And so I'm just trying to make it work. So it is January 5th, a week into the new year, and we haven't really had a full snow storm yet. So this is the first time you did snow. So John's working for me now. Started literally on Christmas morning, or the day after Christmas, and it did snow that day, right? A little bit.
Yep.
So he has a few residential routes just to get him started, but that was it. So he started in the snow, which is just basically our slowest service. We don't have that many. I feel like I'm far away. I think I could actually turn this like this, and you'll still be in the picture.
The picture's fine.
All right, there we go. So we've got 11 people. Half of those, I think there's 8 plow drivers, and the rest are shovel guys, and then there's 2 helpers, maybe 3. So I think actually we have 14 employees for snow, not 11. And so we're the most prepared we've ever been, and there's no snow. So, and in the forecast right now, it showed that it was supposed to snow yesterday, and it didn't snow. And the 7-day forecast doesn't show any snow. So, on a quick note too, I'm going to be in Ohio this week, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. I'm there for a training for water features, but if somebody lives there, let me know so I can do that shop tour there. What I'd like to do is do a shop tour and then kind of an interview like this. And I want to start doing those every month, one a month. So let me know if you want to do that, and we'll talk about it. What I'll be looking for is people with employees. And I'm not really worried about the shop. If you have a shop, great. But you have to have kind of a system, And maybe not. I don't know. Let me know. What do you think of that?
I think you should go out there and check everything out. Have a good little podcast like this.
Yeah.
And see what changes you can make and help them out with some changes.
Yeah. Well, mainly, I definitely want to help. One of the things I want to do is just find out what you guys are doing. Like we're all doing different stuff, right? Like if somebody came here and we're like, hey, what do you do about when somebody, like, what do you do with fertilizing? How's that set up? And I'll probably show you, and it's probably different than the way you do it, So I'm not really necessarily trying to like fix everything, you know what I mean? Because I don't have all the answers. I just kind of have my way of doing things. But I know some of the things that people worry about the most are like revenue, profit, so like efficiency. So your mow crew's bringing in, $1,000 a day, but you're paying out $800. Plus your gas, plus the repairs. You don't have the money, so you got to people. From what I noticed, just from us, is once we started tracking everybody's numbers, like really tracking it, and going, if you don't meet this standard, then you can't work here. it changed everything. You know, it leveled up. People just got better. They understand, like, things are more like professional. You know what I mean? It's because they know, oh, it's like it's on me, like the worker. It's on me to perform, not just he's a nice guy. He's gonna be nice to me,
Yeah.
or you know. Like, so, Walter, what's up, man? You're back from Mexico, and it's snowing here. About to send a text blast. Griff, what up, Nico? What's going on, bro? Sorry, I didn't reach out to you today. I've reached out to you in the past, and you weren't available. So now I got my brother for today, and it might be a normal thing, maybe not. I'll still do. Let's still do some videos together, Nico. But yeah, so I'm just here, just going over the new year, some goals, right? Do you have any New Year's resolution goals?
Yeah, I want to get back into the gym
Yeah.
and get back mowing lawns.
So with the gym, what are you trying to do? You look all right.
Lose 10 pounds.
Yeah.
Maybe grow my hair out a little bit.
Okay. Yeah, so I definitely, my New Year's resolution is to post more regularly on YouTube, at least once a month, for like a bigger video. I want to keep doing these lives on the weekend, but like a bigger video, which a little bit of editing, you know, that kind of video, once a month at least. You know what I mean? It'd be better if we could do it more, but I'd be happy if I did like one a month. Landscapes, are you guys expecting snow now for the next 7 days at least? I don't know, it's showing forecast. Our forecast here is a little weird because we're so close to the mountains, and it's always snowing in the mountains, and we're in the valley pretty close. So I've got service areas that are along the benches of the mountains. So sometimes it snows there, but if it's not snowing in the valley and it doesn't stick, we don't usually check. Although we've got an area has a similar weather patterns as like the ski resorts. So yesterday you were looking for something to do, so you went to Highland and you pushed.
Yeah, we had plenty of snow in
You
Highland.
know, we pushed in Highland. They were residential, so no commercial stuff. I did call my West Jordan guy because you said somebody called him and said it's snowing in that area. So I called my guy that has routes in that area for plowing for commercial, and he said it's not snowing by his house. So I was like, yeah, then don't worry about it. So snow is kind of hit or miss here. It's really annoying, and I know it's annoying. It's been like that forever. So we get new guys that come in, like you. You came in, and it was just barely sprinkling, and you're like, it's snowing, and I'm like, no, it's not.
Not enough.
It's not snowing. So basically, the two newest guys, John and Dustin, are always like ready to go in the morning, even when there's a little bit of snow, which is awesome, because they're ready to go. But it's not. It's everybody else is still waiting because they know. It's not. We don't call it. I don't call it snow until the street is white and it's snowing.
Yeah.
That's when I'm like, all right, guys, get ready. Let's go. The best time is when you wake up and it's already like that and it's not snowing. That's the best. When the streets are covered, hey guys, go. And everybody goes and we make money. But yeah, so I'm kind of used to this. I never expect anything in the snow in the winter. I would like one storm a week. That would be nice. 2, even better. Sure, maybe it'll look like I have a belly. But you know, so technically, we're on storm 4. Technically, because we've had 3 storms that had some snow here. Like yesterday, you went and plowed those residentials. It was what, 5 properties?
Yep.
So 5 properties, actually, and then we had 2 that were down south. So we did do 2 restaurants yesterday, Payson and Nephi, all the way south. The farthest south in the farthest north. And we have a few houses on both sides. Not a few, some properties on each side. So those two guys, you did the north, and somebody named Ray did the south. So because of that, I have to call it a storm for us. So it was storm number 3. So what I did was, those are the only jobs that were completed. I invoiced it. Now we're on storm number 4. The next one is storm number 4. So the first storm, in fact, I'm going to go look at this. This is pretty interesting now. So the first storm was very mild, but most of the jobs got done. And do I have a date? I'm not sure what the date is. The second storm was a full day. The second storm, which I'm going to see if I can find the date on that. It was the 26th, so the day after Christmas. That was a full storm where everybody went out. And then storm number 3 was yesterday, and it sucked. So that's what we're going with. So anyway, as far as snow goes, let me find my spot again. I never really count on it, but we're ready. And thankfully, I think a lot of my workers out of the 14, most of them know it's kind of like this. There's like Dustin, you've been keeping busy, so we got you keeping busy even if it doesn't snow. There's stuff to do here. But Dustin, one of my snow guys, he's not used to it. So he may be one that I think will come to me and say, hey, this isn't working out for me. Although we do have a winter fund that we do pay out. So they will get a small check, whether it snows or not. It's not really small. It's 14 hours. It ain't horrible.
It's not bad.
It's not bad for not doing anything. And the thing is, if those guys have health insurance with us, that covers it too. So, I mean, it's all good. I do tell everybody, get a nighttime job in the wintertime. You should. But it usually doesn't snow. After, like, if you got a nighttime job that started at 4 o'clock or even 5, you'd never hear from me. Like, I'll never be like, hey, where you at? Like, because we're usually done pushing snow early, 10 a.m., 11, 12 p.m. Very rarely does it snow after that. And if we do need to keep going after 12 or 1 o'clock in the afternoon, we usually have a worker or 2 or 3 that we know we can call on, and we can let all the other people go to their other jobs or whatever. You know what I mean? It never snows like crazy all day. So I don't know. That's how winter is. Were you expecting that?
I was expecting a little bit more work, but
yeah,
14,
like snow kind of
yeah,
work?
14 hours. It's pretty nice. But
Yeah.
I can stay busy around here.
Right, but as far as snow goes, like when you said, hey, I'm starting day after Christmas.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do snow removal.
That day was great.
That day, is that what you thought was gonna be like normal?
Yeah. Yeah, that day was nice. We made some money. The following day, nothing. Week later, nothing.
Yeah.
Now we're going into the new year.
Yeah, so that's kind of how it is. And that's how it is. Like, but people that don't actually like wait for snow to get paid like we do, and they get into it and not really know, they never did snow clearing, but they want to get into it, they kind of think it snows more than they think.
Well, you would think Utah.
You know what I mean?
Utah would have.
Yeah.
They got the best mountains.
Exactly. Well, the thing is, like, what is it? Park City, Sundance,
Yep.
And anywhere, and all the ski resorts,
Logan.
always snowing, always snowing. They got 3 feet yesterday.
Yeah.
And we got nothing. So, I think people, like, when they think in this area, especially, yeah, I'm gonna get in the snow. I mean, if you have a business in that area, Park City, up there, like, I have a friend who knows somebody that has a business in there where when they're plowing, they have to use like giant skid steers, you know, and like
Oh yeah.
dump and like in the walls of like these parking lots are like 20 feet high of snow.
That's where they put it all.
Yeah, and there's so much snow they got to take it away. Like they got to haul it away, like people in Canada do. You know, I know some of those guys that do that too. But here in Utah, those guys, their revenue is in the millions. So the mutual friend that I have with somebody that I don't know that person that does it, but he knows them really good. He did 2 million last winter in
Wow.
just snow, and that's all he does. They don't do anything else. Like as far as they don't mow and stuff, they just do snow clearing.
Yeah.
And people have asked me, why don't you just go into Park City, just do snow clearing out there? But it's like, dude, I don't want to change my life for that. You know what I'm saying? You know?
Well, it would be a good idea.
Maybe, but I don't have all that equipment. I mean, it's hard enough getting just the plows, just our plows and salt spreaders. We're in about $150,000 on just those equipment, and it's just like easy little stuff. But you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's crazy. Anyway, it ain't for me, but people have said that. Workers, even Rachel, like, hey, let's just do Park City, and I'm like, dude, no.
Or Draper.
You know, if I could just sit in my house and not go anywhere and lie down, and you guys want to do it, and you guys were calling each other, and you guys are firing each other, and you guys are helping each other, okay, but no, if I got to do a lot of that, I don't want to do it, you know? It's bad enough that we're doing snow. I don't love it, you know?
Yeah.
But I do it because the workers need money, and we do need money too. It's not that I don't love it, but it's like, well, I like it, but I don't love it.
Yeah.
You know, when everything like last storm, like the Christmas storm, everybody went out, and it was the first storm of the year. It was a full storm. Well, minus one route, one guy, the north guy didn't have any properties. He went to all his properties, and they all just needed salt. They didn't need to be plowed. But everybody else worked, and there were some new guys in there, and they all kind of got familiar with their businesses that they're plowing, and they plowed it good, you know. And some of those things where they had to call me or Jose to figure out, hey, what do I do at this property? Like all that got kinked out that one storm, so that was really cool. That was great. And so I was happy, like when that happens, I'm like, yes, I love snow. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like because it was just smooth. It was early in the morning. I think it snowed early. Like everybody was out by 5 and
Yeah.
plowing. So it was an early storm, meaning everybody just go. And everybody went, and it was great. So when things are like that, I love it. But when it's like, I don't know what storm it was, the second storm or something, it started snowing at like 8. You know what I mean? Like that's late. It was a weekday. So the customer, one of our biggest, no, it's not our biggest. One of our top 5 customers was upset because it was 10 o'clock and we still didn't get there. And that one's like a $600 push. And we're like, he already had his mind made up that he was going to call somebody else. He was going to fire us that day. He got his mind made up because when we told him, the snow started at 8 o'clock. So, you know, it takes some time for the snow to accumulate. And so we didn't get to your house. We got to your business at 10, which is actually pretty good timing considering the situation. But at that point, we could tell that his demeanor changed, like, oh, that makes sense. Well, you know, I already called the other company, so I'm just going to go with them. You know what I mean? So we lost one. But this customer has canceled last year too, and he came back after like 1 or 2 storms. So he knows with us he's getting reliability, but he just wants us to be the first. He wants to be the first job on our list, and we just can't do that. You know what I mean? Walter, the snow stopped. We got more ice than snow. Yeah, well, you can charge to salt. We do. Um, so that's something that you got to communicate with your customers. If you're gonna salt and charge it, well, you need to salt every time you push. I know that from an incident that I was involved in. Somebody filed a claim because they fell, broke their leg or foot. They broke their foot. So I got dragged into that, and they were blaming everybody. I was a subcontractor to the main snow company, so they were getting sued too. And obviously they brought me in because if they're getting sued and I'm the one that actually did it, they thought might as well blame me, you know. So I had two lawyers through that because the insurance had a lawyer, and then before that, I forgot that I reached out to my lawyer first because I tell him everything. You know, like if a bird flew into this window and broke it, and I'd probably call my lawyer. The first thing I do is call my lawyer, tell him what happened. I'm not necessarily looking for a solution, but I'm like, hey, this happened. Just want to keep you updated. So I update him with a lot of the major stuff that happens all the time, and by text. I'm just like, boom, just so you know, in case like a month later I can go, hey, remember when I sent that to you? Well, this happened now about that. And then he's aware of it. I don't have to like retell him every single thing. So anyway, he gave me some pointers, obviously. He wanted to handle the whole thing. And I'm like, well, I'm pretty sure I have insurance that could handle that. And he goes, well, all right, but if they can't, let me do it. But I didn't want to pay him, you know?
Not in the wintertime.
I didn't want to pay him. But anyway, so the insurance guy, the insurance lawyer that I got was amazing because all he does is snow lawsuits. That's all he does all year long, just snow. So he taught me, if you're gonna plow a property, you have to salt it. If you don't want to get in trouble in court, you know what I'm saying? Like, you don't have to salt if you don't want to, but more liability falls on you. If you salt and you prove that you salt, and one of the ways to prove that you salt is by invoicing them, as simple as that. If you give them an invoice and they pay it, that's kind of an agreement in the court's eyes that you did it and they agreed because they paid you. I know it's kind of funny that way, but that's kind of the way that my lawyer was telling me. He's like, you can also take a picture. You know, it's like it's hard to see the picture of snow of the salt, but if you can take a picture and if you can get salt in that picture, that's even better. And he's like, if you skip a property because it doesn't need it, you better take a picture. You know, so what else? And things can happen all the time. I mean, there have been companies that got sued because somebody dropped a water bottle and it formed ice, and then somebody fell, and it was the water bottle that did it. But you're still liable unless you have proof that it was a water bottle. So taking pictures, because what they do is they usually take a picture. They usually get a picture. Somebody breaks their leg or foot, most likely they're going to take pictures of the area because they know they're going to blame somebody. So they'll match that picture up with your picture and they do their thing, you know what I mean? But anyway, that's one of the things that I learned. But what he said was charge for salt. Like that guy who's telling me to charge for salt is telling me this because it's the best way to get out of liability is by charging. If you're going to charge for it, because if you don't charge for it, you can say, well, I didn't have to salt that day, it didn't snow, and we didn't charge you. But look at all these other days that we charged you. So we do charge you when we need to, but that day didn't need it. So that can all those things help because it's kind of crazy. When I was going through whatever it's called, when all the lawyers and all the insurance companies are asking you questions and the judge is there too because it was on a virtual thing, like they ask you everything. They ask you on your website, they ask you things about your website. On your website, does it say that you're not going to salt if it doesn't need it? Like, they go on and on. Like it doesn't stop. So I was just answering everything, and then at the end, my lawyer was like, "Man, you did a good job." So I was like, "Awesome." I was just being honest, because if insurance is gonna pay for it, I just let them pay for it. I don't care.
Yeah.
But I'm not trying to hide anything. But your insurance can get mad at you if you are negligent. You know what I'm saying? Because what they'll do is they'll pay the fine or they'll pay it, and then drop your ass. You know. So basically, they pretty much have to cover it unless they specifically told you. So there's probably two things, and I won't go into it, that my insurance said you need to sign this, that you're going to do this, and if you're not, we're not going to be liable. So you do that, and they say, oh, you do snow? Well, sign this, whatever it is, and if you don't do that exactly the way it's supposed to, we won't cover you if that happens. So there's a couple of things within my whole company. There's two things that I had to sign like that. But anyway, so you just gotta like be careful with snow. Do you have any issues with snow?
I like pushing snow, just where we're at. Obviously, there's not enough of it.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
But it's fun.
Yeah.
You make money.
I know, that's the thing. Like, I used to hate getting up in the morning at like 3 in the morning looking to see if there's snow. And if there was, I'm like, just dragging to get in the truck. But once I'm in the truck, dude, I was like, dropping the plow and going all day,
Yeah.
I had a property that started off taking 6 hours, and I loved it. Just sitting there for 6 hours, just plowing everything. I got so good at it, I started doing it myself in 4 hours. And then we got another truck another year, and then I started getting it done faster because somebody would help me. And then we had a whole crew just by itself doing the walkways. And we were getting that job done, knocked out in like an hour and a half. And we still never dropped the price because we had all that manpower now. And sometimes the price went up a little bit too. So there's pretty good money in snow. We have 2 prices for salting. We just got 3 properties to say yes. Nice. Are you still doing per bag, or are you ordering bulk salt now? No, I'm still buying bags. So what I did was, the salt company called me and said, we have 9 pallets, I think. It could be more. It could be way more than 9. I don't remember now. Because I actually bought these in November. It might have been October. But they're like, we've got all these pallets. If you buy it, I'll sell them to you for $4 a bag. May have said 3. I probably have the text somewhere. Really cheap. So I said, yeah, so I bought it all, and that's what we're using now. The bags for me are just easier because when the guys are on the property doing, and maybe I'm wrong, but tell me, but like when the guys are plowing the parking lots and they run out of salt, it's easier for them to grab a bag and fill it up. I guess the other way would be like with a shovel, right?
So you just dump it in the back of the truck and just shovel it in. It's probably just easier.
It's probably easier, but I'm thinking about our trucks. I don't know if that would be a good idea, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know. Is that what you guys do? If you have bulk, load it into the back of your truck. And I'm not talking about like one of those like giant salt spreaders that like sit in the bed, you know? I know if you have one of those, you need bulk.
Oh yeah.
But if you just have like a Boss 600, or 1,000, something like that, a tailgate spreader, I think it's easier for a bag, but I don't know. Jeff, what's going on? Lots of things you have to think about to cover yourself. It's true. Hello, you. Walter, wow, great prices to get it for $10. Oh, you get it for $10, yeah. So who's this hello bello? I do. Not sure what that means. Give it a second. If it's a real account, we'll leave it. If not, I think you can click, like remove or hide or something. But anyway, so yeah, again, I'm going to Ohio next week. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. I do have a training, but I think I'm not sure what time it gets out, but I'm assuming evening. And I'd like to go check out somebody's shop and maybe do a shop tour, quick tour, and then if I could do like an interview like this, podcast. That's what I'd like to do while I'm out there in Ohio. I guess I could do that here too, right? Like,
You can do it from,
anywhere. But I want to actually go to their shops.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if I know that there's a couple of YouTube channels where they have videos that they have done that, but not like every video or every shop tour. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like they'll do like what I've been doing is the video stuff, but I don't know. I kind of want to go out there. Be nice to get away, and take a real look at it. At what people are doing.
They're getting a lot of snow in Ohio.
Yeah. Well, I don't necessarily mean snow. By the way, I like snow, but I'm not like, I wouldn't call myself like, I don't know. I think I'm pretty good at managing summer, spring services. I don't know about snow. Like, I'm not gonna lie. I feel like
We're ready. So.
we're ready.
Yeah,
We are ready,
So
but
you're managing right. We just need more
yeah.
snow or maybe service.
The thing is, like, when you have a small lawn care company, if I were to start a new, small, tiny lawn care company with like one truck, I feel like I would be super efficient, super profitable right from the start because I know it.
Yeah.
But snow, you kind of have to, like, in my opinion, you got to build it slowly. You know what I mean? Because the plows themselves are like $10,000. You need a truck that can pull it, push it, and you need a worker that you can trust with that equipment. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like with the mowing, it's easy, it's simple, you know what I'm saying? Like it's easier to start. But with snow, it's not like, I mean, I could help with pricing, but like the plowing, you could teach somebody to plow, but if they don't have coordination,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? And then you could get some customers, but what are you gonna do in the middle of the season? You're gonna buy another truck setup? So it's like snow takes time, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Unless you were like, oh, let's move to Park City and start.
That'd be a mess.
Middle of June, not now.
Yeah, yeah.
It'd be like if you had to do something like that, where you're gonna like, gun to my head, you got to make $1 million doing snow, or at least 500,000. I think that's doable here. But let's say $1 million. So I go out to Park City in July. I start looking for work. Start reaching out to all the companies. Start building work, and then I figure out the employee stuff. Like, you'd have to rent something for people to live out there, unless you lived out there. But I have people I trust, like you.
Yeah.
Hey man, I got this apartment. I rented it out. It's gonna be for all our snow guys.
That's a great idea.
You know what I mean? And you gotta just stay there. You're not gonna come to this valley. You're gonna stay there all winter. It's gonna snow every day. I mean, there's
we might have to
something
look
there.
into something like
There's
that
something there.
eventually, because I feel like we could take it. We could definitely. We got the manpower.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and I think we have people that would be like, I would love to do that. Like, I'm just looking at the list of workers, and I see people that would be like, dude, sign me up.
Yeah.
Sign me up. That could be something, but I mean, we got a lot of customers that need us here.
Park City's really not that far either.
It's really not, but when there's a traffic accident,
Oh yeah.
you're never getting out there.
Yeah.
Jeff, when I'm in Indianapolis, yeah, dude, definitely. I don't know when I'm out there. And I don't know if I'm ever gonna have like a real calendar. You know what I mean? Maybe. All right, I may have to take somebody off here, cause I don't know what they're doing. All right, I think I did it. Let's see here. So, I think there was a Walter. If you're still on, you texted me, not text. I don't know if you put it in the comments or what, but you said something about. I should look it up. Oh, my phone's recording. About, and I didn't put my phone on. Whatever you call it.
Silence.
Um, you know, focus. I didn't put it on focus. So if it rings, I'm sorry, guys. Hopefully it won't. Don't call me, anybody. He was saying something like, Walter was saying something like, he needs to be more strict with his workers because they're not showing up on time. Something like that. And maybe I can find it here. I'm gonna try finding it on my phone, on my computer. Sorry, my wife's asking me something. Let's see, Walter, there it is. No, I think it was in the comments from another video. But anyway, my response was, well, when it comes to like your strong producers that actually work until the jobs are done, you know, the ones where you can say, hey man, I need you to do this other job, and they're like, put it on my list. The ones where like they just consistently they working Fridays for you if they need it, if you need it Saturdays, like those guys, I'm a lot more lenient. You know, like not on everything, obviously, but like if they show up late, they come in around 8 instead of 7:30. I'm like, hey man, everything good? Yeah, okay, cool. See ya. Now somebody that's constantly calling off, cries every time you add another job, it's just like bad attitude. And they come in at 8, I'm like, bro, you need to come in at 7:30. So you need to change that up. I don't know what you got to do, but I'm a little more, you know, strict on that because they're not pulling extra, they're not helping. So why should I help them? You know, the reason why I want everybody to show up on time, and this could be probably your issue too, is what frustrates you is because when they all show up at the same time, like let's say 7:30, I have guys that show up at 6:30, but let's just say 7:30. They all go out at 7:30. It's 3 o'clock. You can kind of see everybody's list. Let's say somebody has 10 jobs still, and everybody else has 3. It's easy to point out an issue because they should all be pretty similar. Their houses should all be like, they should all have 4. That guy that has 10, what's going on there? You know what I mean? It's easy to figure out that he's not, I don't know, maybe he shouldn't be mowing.
Yeah.
But you know, if everybody's coming in at different times, somebody comes in at 10, I think that's pretty freaking late. I don't know if anybody ever comes in that late. For me, nobody does. At least I don't think so. But like some guys will come in at 6:30, and I don't care if you come in earlier. I'm like, just be mindful of the noise. You know, you can't go to like a residential house. So some of the guys will say, no, I'm going to do this property first because I can be loud, you know. So you just kind of have to play it like that. But let's say guys come in at 7 o'clock, or sorry, 6:30. Now they might have 2 jobs and everybody else has a lot, and I get that. That's fine. But see, that guy, I'm not going to complain when he's 30 minutes or an hour late one day because look what he just did. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you guys are pretty good though.
Yeah,
Coming in
yeah,
7 o'clock, 7:30.
they're totally good. But we do have a guy who's really good. He's the one I know I can count on Saturday. I say, man, I need you to come in tomorrow on Saturday. He's like, all right, no problem. He does not. So my ops guy, Jose, gets frustrated with him. It happens a lot. I'm like, dude, I hear you're frustrated, but he's happy. He's doing everything he's supposed to do. Like, he comes in late sometimes, but look, when you need something, you know he's there for you. So don't be so hard on him. You don't tell him, hey man, I really would like you here at 7:30. That's it. But you don't need to say, hey man, I took jobs off your list today. Why? Because you're so late. Like, that's too hard. You know, like, I don't know. I think if like there's a reason, like, hey, I need you on Wednesdays or Thursdays to be here at this time because of this property, and they're show up late after you told them, I think that's a problem. But for the most part, I think you can be a little more lenient. Yes, that was through a text. Sometimes he holds the other person's back, or like right now that we are doing leaf cleanups, we run 3 or 4 in one truck. He holds them back. He is good, but he is super young. So, is he the driver? I'm just curious on that. Not that I would be more lenient on a driver, but if you have a driver that has a license and maybe your other guys don't, you kind of, not that you're being lenient, but you kind of have no choice, but they're pretty much holding you hostage. So in those cases, what I do is, and I'm not saying that's your issue, but like in those cases, when somebody holds you hostage, like let's say, I'm just gonna throw out a thing. I've got 2 good sprinkler guys, right? But let's say I only had one good sprinkler guy, and he was knocking down all those jobs, but he was bad attitude, didn't do things the way the office wants, but he was knocking jobs out. And if there was a hard job, we know we could send him and he'll do it. He's holding us hostage, so I'm not letting him go, but I'm not happy. But what I'm doing is, I'm telling the other guy, hey man, I need you to step up, because right now, something might happen, and I need you to step up. So learn how to do these hard things, these 3 things I need you to do, in case that happens. You know what I mean? I'm always like, doing behind the scenes stuff. I used to do that in the restaurant business. You had a good griller, but he's bad attitude. You can't talk to him. He gets mad at all the servers. I'm quietly training another guy on the days he's off or on the morning shift, the day shift. And once they're ready, that person that was holding me hostage, I'm like, you're gone. Just like that. No warning sometimes. Because I do that a lot.
Yeah.
I don't have to with our guys now. I think we've got strong guys, but somebody that, like, let's say so right now, if we started mowing tomorrow, we'd have 8 mow guys and 8 trucks because we do one-man crews. That's your other issue too, probably. I get it with leaf cleanups. You probably want more than 1. For sure, you need more than 1. But like, when there's a helper and you've got so the other guy can't start the job until your driver gets here or the helper gets there. I get it, that's a problem. But to avoid that, just do one-man crews.
Yeah.
But I know for leaf cleanup you need more guys. I get that. I don't know, but we charge hourly for leaf cleanup. So if there was only 2 guys, I wouldn't need. If one of those guys, those 4 guys, was showing up late constantly, I would just have the other crew leave without him. And then when he shows up, I'm like, I'm sorry, man. Especially in the fall, where you're kind of okay if people start quitting or,
Yeah.
because it's slowing down, and so it's okay. So I do that too. So it's like, hey man, we sent you home. I send people home if their phones aren't charged. So even my good guys, like obviously not that one guy that comes in on Saturday or whatever. I've got like 2 or 3 of those guys that come in on Friday and Saturdays. But recently, not for snow, but it was still like fall services. One of my guys, his phone was dead, and he's like, "Sorry, man, my phone's dead. I need to charge it." I go, "No, dude, charge it at home. Like, you got to be prepared." And I let him go, and then I just sent him home. And I said, "I don't care what you do, but you can't do this. You got to go home. So we're gonna move your jobs." So I moved the jobs to everybody else. The office was kind of like, "Dude, what are you doing?" I'm like, "No, man, we have to have some kind of standards. I mean, these guys show up with their phone not working, they're gonna think that's okay. You know?
Well, you kind of need it on the one-man
You
cruise.
need it.
You kind of need it.
You need it, but you also need, like, if I'm gonna call you, I don't want to hear that your phone's not charged.
Yeah.
Like,
GPS.
yeah. So actually, that same worker, he's probably our youngest one-man crew guy. Okay? And so that's pretty normal, that kind of thing, you know? But his phone either died or something happened to it like a month later, and he got a brand new phone before he came into work.
I think I know who it is.
So that's what happened, and then Jose told me about that. He's like, "Hey, he went to the store last night late at night and got a new phone because he knew he wasn't going to be able to come in the morning." So I'm kind of glad that you did that the other day, even though he was one of those guys going, "I wouldn't send him home." I'm like, we have plenty of other workers that can do the job. That's the other beauty about a one-man crew. I think that's the fear that some people have is, well, what happens if a guy doesn't show up? What happens if he doesn't show up? Well, you can disperse it with the other workers. You know what I mean? Try and always planning your routes as if that could happen, because I've got this new motto that I've been saying everywhere, and people really close around me have been repeating it with me or finishing the sentence, which is, if it might happen, no, if it can happen, it might happen. So whatever it is, right? If it can happen, it might happen. So always be prepared for anything. And if somebody calls off or doesn't show up, that can happen. So it might happen. So be ready for it. So plan your routes. So when we have a south area that we service that has I think there's one person could technically do it if they work Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and possibly Friday. One person could do it, but if that person calls off, then we're screwed because we got to send somebody north all the way south. So we always have 2 guys out there doing it, and it takes them, instead of 4 days, it takes them 2 or 3 days because it's 2 people. But that's okay. It's not together. They're 2 different trucks doing one-man crews. And if for some reason one of them had to call off, we could probably fit as many jobs as we can on the other crew. And at that point, we could probably send somebody to just do 4 houses really fast from the south. No big deal. So, because that is something I've talked to a lot of people just over the years, and I'm like, yeah, do one-man crew. And they go, what happens if somebody calls off? And I always say the same thing. I go, you can always disperse it to the other people. Like, it's not that bad. It works out really good. And they're not waiting on anybody. They show up, they park their car, get in their truck, and leave. They're not like waiting on somebody. You're not paying somebody to wait for them. That's always kind of awkward. You know, like you're wondering, hey, are you clocked in? Like, you don't want to ask people. Like, I don't like asking because I'm glad that they're here, and I don't want to make their day bad. But so I come to my computer sometimes and I'll look. I go, man, he's clocked in. So then I'll call the main guy, the driver. I'll be like, dude, I'm paying somebody for you to be here. Where are you? You know, I'll do that kind of thing. Let's see here. So he's not the driver. When I say he holds them back, more I mean like the start of the day. I think I just need to talk to him and tell him my expectations. Yeah, I had them leave without him, and I told him to catch up to them. He said he was going to clean up the shop. I told him, no, either go meet them or go home. Yeah, dude, this Walter guy, have you never met Walter?
No, I haven't.
He came here once, and it was awesome. Walter, was like, I'm not joking. I'm being dead serious. Like the second subscriber we ever had. Um, and it's cool to see like when he first started, he was doing videos of like him in a truck, you know, and like just doing like these little jobs, you know what I mean? You actually did one of those like I don't know what you call it, but like it was a bad yard or bad something, and he made it look nice for free, like just to do it.
The video. Yeah.
Just to do it, and it wasn't even for a video. Like he recorded it, but he was really like, no, it's like a big part of the town, and it will look better if it's clean. So like he wasn't like even saying he was gonna do it for the video, and he had a helper. So he's like, we're gonna train on edging and trimming here and stuff. If you would have kept that up, dude, that could have been probably huge. You know what I mean? Because people are doing that now. You know, like they'll go to these like really overgrown houses or parks or something, and then they'll just do it, and they get like tons of views. When you watch videos, like, do you watch what kind of videos do you watch if it's in the lawn care?
I just watched like from start to finish, first time mow, take a video, and then the finished product.
So you like that?
Yeah,
Okay.
I think I learned from it.
Yeah.
There's so many different ways
True.
to do first time mows,
True.
but
But even when I was like in the truck, I was never like I could never sit through those videos.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, if they're too long, you know.
Well, yeah, but I don't know. I just more like want to know process. You know, like this is how you should start the mow. Like I like those videos, not necessarily just somebody putting a camera down and mowing it and just sitting there watching. I can't do that.
Yeah.
You know. You know what we could do is like get a camera on all the trucks and just have it on the side, and then we can upload those videos. You know.
Mm.
That's all they do. I was ahead of time. I never thought any of it back then. Oh, wait, hold on. He said he was going to clean up. Oh yeah. Yeah, you were ahead of your time, dude. It's really funny because that ended up being huge. Like that, when people do that, it's freaking huge now. Oh, but then he came like, so I'd always been kind of following him, you know, because he would ask questions. You know what I mean? So I always knew of Welter. And like if he posted a new video, I'd like, not that I would see the whole thing, but I would like, I was always aware of it, right? So I always check it out real quick. Or whatever, his Instagram. So I'd start seeing when he would post like an ad or something, you know, or just a picture, because I always followed him too. So it was really cool to see him from like when he was like really small to where he's like growing it to where he is now, you know. And so he came here 2 years ago now. Can you believe it? It's been like, actually, I want to say it's been 2 years. And, you know, showing him the shop here, how we do things. He went to our kickoff meeting, which, by the way, we got to set up for that too. We usually do that the last week of February, and we've been doing Topgolf. Have you been there?
I have not.
Yeah. And that's where we kind of have like all the meeting, where we say our expectations, our new policies, you know, like this one. I'm sure we're going to say, hey, we're now going to have a quality control. We're going to be big on quality control this year. And, you know, people are going to start saying, oh, well, how are we going to get all these jobs done? We're not here to fight. You're here to listen.
Knock off a few off the end. Hire an extra person.
We're just going to tell you what we expect. We're not here to debate this. That's where I usually tell them, these are the new things. Somebody might say something like, hey, what about that? And I go, I might answer it if it's really fast, but I'm at that meeting, I'm like, we're not here to debate this. I'm here to tell you what we're doing, because we've already made up our mind.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because you start talking about, hey, we're going to be better on quality. We're going to have somebody check your properties once a month. Somebody's going to say something.
Maybe.
Guaranteed.
They got good mo guys.
I guarantee, even the good mo guys are gonna be like, well, what are we gonna do about time? What about the budget hours? You can change that if we're gonna do better quality. You know, they will say that. Oh, that's the other thing. Well, I can't announce it, but you know, I'll briefly say like we're kind of moving away from the performance pay. I'll leave it at that. So that's gonna be something that we're gonna talk about there. It's not even talking about it, it's like this is the way it is, you know. So what I'm gonna do real quick. Let me see. Is there another question here? Thanks, Nico. 2 years ago, it was great experience. You opened up my mindset for sure. You opened up ours too. So Walter, he's kind of big on designs. Like he'll go to a property, and he'll say, "Hey, you should," and they might call him wanting like a new yard design, but he might go for a cleanup also, and say, "You should put a big garden over here." Right? And what he does is he will actually draw up the design with software, and he'll show it to him in the estimate. Like this is what I'm talking about, and he says that his sales are like gone up for that. So what we said we were gonna do, we didn't do it, but it's not really something that I was gonna do anyway. If somebody was gonna do it, it had to be Fernando or Rachel. But Walter showed him what he does. So let's say Fernando goes to a yard cleanup, he finishes it, but he notices like this electric box that's ugly and it's in the way, it looks bad. Well, what Walter would do is he wouldn't even talk to the customer yet. He'll do the cleanup and he'll notice that, or he'll go to a property that he already mows, see it, and he'll make a design with that box in there, and he'll plant stuff around it, make it look good, and then he'll send that to the customer and say, "Hey, I can do this for you for this much." And so Fernando was looking at all our properties. He was like the quality control for gardens. So he had the perfect opportunity to do that kind of stuff. And he wanted to do it. So he said he wanted to get the software, which I probably paid for.
I'm sure.
Maybe, I'm pretty sure I paid for it, probably. And I don't know if it never got done, but that's great. That would be amazing.
Do we have somebody
Like that's
now?
something we need to do.
Do we have somebody now
Write that down.
that's capable of that project?
Rachel.
She's pretty much already doing that.
She already is, but she does go to properties to check things out, and she could easily see it and do it.
Right on the property, or no? You gotta come back to the office.
We probably have to come back.
Okay.
The thing is, so like Rachel and I both went to landscape design school, so probably immediately, and me, I'm not big at this. I've never done design. I got a landscape design degree, but I don't have any plans of ever doing a design. Okay. I went just for the landscaping portion of stuff. But anyway, so Rachel, when she does a design, she does the real design, you know, like the ones you think of what a landscape designer does, you know?
The whole yard.
Yeah, you know, the way it looks and everything. This is more simplified, but it's just a picture. You know what I'm saying? It's just like that you drew up, and it's like for this one little spot, like on the spot. It's so
I
powerful.
wonder if you can do it right on the property.
Maybe you
where you don't have
could.
to come back
Hey
here.
Walter, do you ever do those little designs on with the graphic software on the spot? I'm just curious. I would love to hear about you moving away from P. Yeah, and I guess I could talk about it a little bit, but first I just want to see. We need to write. I'm going to write this down. So the designs on property for upsells. I need to revisit that. But you know, Rachel does an amazing job. Like,
But if you could do it really
she's the
fast.
best. I'm so lucky. Rachel is such a good estimator. It's not even funny. And she's the best. They can do it with the app on iScape. But do they do it right then and there? Like, do you do it right then and there, like while you're on a property, and you notice something, or do you have to kind of do it at your house or at your shop? I'm just curious. So let me talk about P for P real quick. So that's performance pay. I forgot what the P for P stands for. Profit. P for P. Performance. I forgot what the P for P stands for.
P for P.
I know it's like performance pay.
That's it right there.
Performance pay. Pay for performance. That's what it is. Okay. So theoretically it works. But it's not consistent for us, for me. And I'll tell you why. So hold on. Not on the spot anymore because I usually have a list of quotes, but it can be done very quickly. So yeah, it can be done very quickly. And when he was talking to Fernando, I kind of remember Fernando saying, like, yeah, I can just do it right there. In fact, we gave him an iPad and everything. Like, we set him up. We set him up to do it. So I'll just start off with the kind of the con, you know, their pros and cons of the performance pay. The way that we did it is we had some guys that full on took way advantage of it. Okay. And I'm not even saying they did it on purpose. You know, they just thought they were going fast as hell.
Well, one of them's not here no more.
None of them are. Anybody that's ever done P for P that it took advantage of it, where they were like getting their list of 14, 15 jobs done in 5 hours, do not work here anymore. Okay? And those guys were killing it for P for P, or performance pay. I call it budget hours because I kind of pay off budget hours. But, so the thing is, like, let's take an example. We had a guy. He literally, you worked with him. He got done 15 jobs in like 4 hours. Okay? So he got paid for 4 hours that he was clocked in. And then he got budget hours of an additional like 10 hours on top of that. And he did that every day. So his budget hour bonus was like $300 to $400 a week. Just the budget hours. That's not even counting his clock in time. Just off, so he'd work 4 hours and he'd get paid like $200. You know what I mean? It's crazy. Sounds like, okay, so what are the arguments here? Well, that's why you have P for P, so they can make more money. Okay, do you really think the quality is as good as it should be for somebody? You got, and I have a witness here. We have a guy that's getting done in 15 jobs in 4 hours, and then we have another guy that takes 10 hours to get done 15 jobs. Which one probably looks better?
The 10 hour, because the 4 hour dude's just flying through them.
Flying through them, going home, being done. You can't even give him another job because it's not even here anymore.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? By the time he leaves, it's 12 o'clock, noon, and about 1, 2 o'clock, that's when you start needing to move people around. Like, hey man, I'm gonna take another job off you because I mean you're not gonna finish today, so I've got to give it to this other person. Now you're short a guy because he's gone like way too early. You know, if you got somebody, you know, that's getting done at 3, 4 o'clock, okay, I get it. But somebody being done at 12, that's way too soon. So his quality was not great. I've had to talk to customers on the phone. We've sent him back. I know that's what a lot of people would say. Well, you got to send him back, and you're not paying those budget hours, and that's true. That if we had to send him back, it actually ate away his budget hour bonus. So we know that, but he was actually not getting a lot of complaints. To be honest, out of all the jobs that he did, if he did 60 jobs in a week, he might have 1 complaint. You know?
So he's doing something right.
Well, you think, but maybe it's just the customer's like, you know what? I'm not gonna complain. Like, so who's, you know what I'm saying? It's like, I want the quality to be good. I see the customers aren't complaining, but I know the quality's not good. What do? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. Take away the P for P. You just can't offer that.
But then you can't offer you can't say I'm taking it away from you.
Everybody.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So here's the other thing, guys, and you guys can probably all relate to this. You're gonna have a lot of workers that just don't get P for P. They just don't get it. As easy as it is, some people just don't get it. So I have guys, I'm not joking, that have been with me doing performance pay since 2021, and they still don't get it. They still don't get it. And I've done everything in my power to explain it to them, and they just still don't get it. So guess what? They don't benefit from it. And I can tell you why. There's a lot of reasons why. They think they're smarter than the system, and it's so simple. If you try to be smarter than going fast, you're silly, because you make more money the faster you go. That's as simple as it is.
Yeah.
But I got guys that just can't comprehend that. So they would be better off just getting a raise. So put it this way. If every worker did beat their budget hour times, super simple, by 3 hours a day, which can easily be done, that's an additional $60 that they'll take home that day. Okay? That day. So you times that by 4, that's $280.
6 times 4, 6, 4, 18, 24.
$240.
240.
So you get $240 extra a week by just beating your times by 3 hours, which is totally doable. They don't get it, so they get frustrated or whatever. So they're not getting their budget out.
How are they not getting it? I don't get it because it's simple. How do you not get it?
Well, some of the arguments are, they worry about quality too much,
We're
right?
getting more jobs added on at the end of the day because you finished your list.
Yeah.
And now you got Jose.
Right,
Ryu.
but they're saying quality, right? Like, do you want me to do a good job? These are the ones that actually aren't taking advantage of the system.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? For whatever reason, I mean, I'm here dumbfounded too. Why don't they just go faster and get it done nice? I don't know. There's people. I'm not saying every worker I have doesn't get it, because Randy, I think, got it. Right? He was like, we got to go.
Yeah, but somebody was telling him to go fast.
Yeah, well, I tell everybody to go fast, but he takes it a little more serious,
Yeah.
But, so anyway, yes, so some of my guys don't get it. I'm not saying all of them, just, even if it's 3 guys. That's pretty crazy to think. 3 guys that have been with me from 2021, and I've tried everything to explain it to them. Everything. Still don't really get it. I'm sure there's other Mo guys out there who have or other business owners that have workers that don't get it either. You know what I'm saying?
I feel like a lot of people don't do the performance pay.
They
just
don't.
because
A lot don't.
of quality.
Right.
And then me being a Mo technician, performance pay at the end, you finish your route, you got 15 on your list, and then you sync your phone, and you look, and there's 3 more. Then it starts to roll over to the next day, and you realize, oh, well, if I finish these 2 fast, I'm gonna get 3 or 4 more, possibly 5 more, depending on how fast I finish.
Well, and there is that issue too. It's like you had another job, but now it's across town, so you just wasted 30 minutes. So that actually ate into your budget hours that you won. There's a lot going on.
Yeah.
But I think my guys would benefit for just a raise. So like I said, so 240, and I don't have my phone because it's recording, but you take 240, divide that by 30.
8.
That's $8 additional to their $23 base usually. Most of my guys are at $23.
So you're averaging almost 30 an hour.
Just on performance pay, okay? Or because of performance pay. And that should be common. We're budgeted to pay that. You see what I'm saying?
And that's probably more than what other
Exactly.
people are
But
paying.
what I'm saying is if everybody did that and we paid that, everybody would give about $30 an hour, and we can afford it because that's how we're built for that. And we have guys that don't love it. because they don't get it. You see what I'm saying? So I'm better off just giving them a raise. By the time they get to $28,
Yeah, you're.
they probably won't even work here anymore. You know what I'm saying? Like,
They're not.
because it's not like they're getting that raise. I'm not giving them $8 raise in 1 year.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Do you see what I mean?
Yeah.
So, but what we anyway, I'm gonna read some comments here. Well, that's different to hear. Wow, that's different to only hear one complaint. Yeah, exactly. And partly too is like there's a thing where when a customer has a worker that they like, they're willing to put up with a little bit of things, but one false move or that guy calls off, you bring in a new guy, and that homeowner doesn't know it. Now they're canceling. Oh, because I've been putting up with bad work, and now I'm just done. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But like, so you know how it is. Like, we all have stuff, right? I have somebody that I have my insurance agent. You know, I love my insurance agent. Does she screw up on? Not screw up, but like, does she she still hasn't gotten back to me about you? I put up with her because I like her. She does a lot for me. You see what I mean? So I'm willing to put up. But if I found out that she sold me to another company, I'm like, I'm out. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But like, if she was good, and somebody bought her, took over her, like she's not my agent anymore, this other person, I'm like, well, you better be as good as Jamie, and I'll stay with you. But if Jamie's sucking, I'm like, this person ain't gonna be as good as Jamie. So I'm out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, Dobby, hello. My question is, how many Karens have you encountered while mowing someone else's lawn, who walk over and ask you to cut their lawn for free?
For free. Huh?
Yeah, I don't know if anybody's ever asked to cut our lawn for free. We have had, I guess, complaints with, the garden crew. Sometimes the landscapers will do something to the other property, trying to get into the backyard or something, and that's all understandable.
Or you blow leaves.
Yeah, you blow leaves into another property. But no, mowing lawns, I don't think anybody's ever really, I don't think there's an issue there that I can think of. Maybe I'm not reading the question right, but I don't think we encounter too many complaints with people mowing the lawn and people coming over. No, our guys are trained to, if somebody walks over and says, hey, can you mow my lawn? They give them a business card. And they say, call the office like right now, and by the time I'm done, if you sign up, it'll be put on my list and I'll do it. So that happens quite a bit.
That's normal.
Yeah, that's pretty normal. Walter, we'll be using the app to show them how much they are getting as they are doing them. So I've tried the app too, and it didn't really, I don't know, it was too much work, sadly. So there's an app where you go, how many budget hours they have, what time are they supposed to get done, something like that. But it's like you've got to enter it all in. I just want it to be, I can't remember to do that every day. You know what I mean?
You gotta measure it and then.
No, it's like, it's an app and it says, okay, how many jobs do you have? If I remember right, they might have changed the app, but when I had it, it was like you had to go in, you have 10 jobs, and go into job number 1. How long do you have? Job number 2, job number 3. It's like, dude, I'm re-entering all this. Can't do that with all the Mo guys.
Not every day. It's too much
Yeah,
work.
so I was like, I don't want to do this. And I did talk to somebody. I talked to somebody about that at one of my mastermind groups, and they said that they do it every day. They're like, yeah, I know it's kind of a pain, but you do it every day. You just kind of get used to it. I'm like, I don't want to get used to that.
Some people might enjoy it.
So I have a thing here, Walter. Oh, hold on. Yeah. So here's what I'm doing. Let me see here. Gotta go slow. So. Man, thought I had a better view of this.
It's going good.
Okay.
A little further though.
Yeah. Okay, so I've got this list, or it's now a grid that I've got here. And I've got pretty much all my workers on there. The ones where it's missing workers is because I need them. I need to hire, right? So underneath Stockton, I need 2 Mo guys. And that'll give us 10 Mo guys. Underneath Herberto, I need 2 guarding guys. And these are one-man crews, by the way. All these on this list, it's a one-man crew. I shouldn't say that. These are the drivers. Like, for example, Junior, he usually rides with 2 other guys, but Junior is the truck. He's my driver, so he's got on the list. So the helpers aren't on this. These are only the drivers. And besides Junior, I don't think anybody else has more than 1 person on their trucks. And so under Tyson, we're going to need 1 more fertilizer guy. And under Lopez, we're going to need 3 more sprinkler guys. And then on the top diagonal, you can see those are all the things that we are looking for that if they don't do, they'll get an X mark, right? So like pledge, which is the first one, might be hard to see for you guys, but the first one says pledge. And that's our pledge award, meaning they have to be professional, leader, efficient, do what's asked, genial, and eloquent communicator. And then all the other things are like the second one is order of operations, right? So like if they're not mowing the order of operations that we want, right? So they hop out of their truck, they should be edging first. Then they should be trimming everything. Then they should be mowing. They should be blowing too, but blowing maybe after trimming, but we're, these are the things that we'll be able to see when we're on property, right? We'll go on property and we'll go, look, you didn't mow after you trimmed the fence line, so you're getting an X by your name. If they get an X by their name, they do not get a raise. But if nobody has an X by their name, if whoever doesn't have an X by their name, every month will get an automatic 10-cent raise. Automatically, every month. Starting probably in April. So April 1st will probably be the first raises be given out because they'd have hopefully worked March. And then from there, it will click in every month as long as they work here, including the winter. So technically, everybody has the opportunity to get a $1 raise every year or more. So that's the way we're going to focus on it this year. So I've got this board. So it's in my office so that if somebody has an X, they're got to come in here and talk with me so we can figure it out. And they need to talk to me like as soon as there's an X on here. So we'll talk about that here in a second. See if I can put it back how it was.
It's there it goes. Oh, you can see it on yours too, huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. What do you think? There's a little lag. All right, guys. Let's see if there's any questions real quick. One of the things we'll be removing from our website is LawnBot, the instant pricing. We will be adding a text us button instead next to our contact form. Yeah, I was never a real fan of the automatic pricing. I like the idea. I think it's cool, but it's just not personal. I don't know what your reason is, but are you still doing 2-man crews on landscaping or just one? No, for the big landscape projects, there are 3 guys on that truck. It's the main guy and 2 helpers, and he has the freedom to tell somebody they can have the day off, but he's in charge. All the other garden maintenance guys, we only have one big landscape crew. all the other garden guys are one-man crews, all of them, and they're busy every day. They do like at least five jobs a day, garden maintenance wise, sometimes more. Never seen something like that on the board. Very interesting. Yeah, I'm just trying to think out the box here. To be honest with you, I'm not doing this because I'm trying to be different. I'm only doing this because I think all my workers would actually receive this better than performance pay. That's the only reason why I'm doing it. Because we can keep doing what we're doing, it's fine. A lot of them aren't getting their performance pay money, so technically we're making more money in the office, in the business. So I'm not doing it to even save money. I'm doing it because I want quality to be better. And I think that with them knowing they can take their time on properties, they're gonna kill their times. We have good guys. Nobody's gonna milk the clock. And we're still watching. I still track everything. We can still find out if somebody's not going fast enough. But for the most part, that extra 3 hours that they might or might not get in 1 week, they'll definitely get by staying clocked in. And I'm just telling you the truth. My people, my workers here, will benefit from this better, and that's why I'm doing it. And I've done it. You can't say I haven't tried doing performance pay because I've done it since 2021 for sure, but I rolled it out in 2020. But in 2021 is when we started doing it, and that's the only way we've paid up until this point. So you can't say I didn't give it my all to try to do it, and it works. It's the way we handle payroll. Rachel does payroll, and she doesn't know any other way to submit her hours but to do performance pay. That's the only way we do it. But my guys are going to benefit more from this. I'll be shocked, I tell you, if anybody complains. I will be like, actually, I do know somebody that will complain.
But you're not going to get fired if you get an X by
No.
your name.
No, so what happens is, as soon as somebody finds a problem on one of these, if one of the managers, me, John, who's going to be the quality guy for maintenance, for mowing, Rachel, Jose, and even Amanda, the phone person, she's the office manager. If any of us have an issue that's on this board, or I have empty spaces, if you want to go back and look at it, you'll see that there's some empty spaces because I'm sure we're going to add some stuff. If they notice that, let's say one of the guys didn't pick up toys or trash before he mowed. I'm going to put an X by his name, or actually we're going to put our signature. It's going to be our signature. So if you put it, you got to put your signature.
Okay.
Or your initials. And I'll put my initials. So I'll put my initials on there. And then we need to talk to that worker immediately. Like, hey, before you go out, before you go home, come to the office. And if I'm not here, come back, see me tomorrow morning. They got to talk. So here's the other thing. I got to talk to John. If John puts a signature, I got to talk to you first. Say, so what's going on? And you'll tell me why. And I might say, hey, you're out of your freaking mind. You're wrong. So erase it. You know?
Yeah.
Or I might say, oh yeah, that makes perfect sense. You know? Or I might say, you're wrong. And you say, no, I'm not wrong because this is what happened. I go, oh shit, you're right.
I don't think we're going to get a lot of.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then, so I'm going to talk to you first, whoever put the act. Like, I got to talk to the manager first. Say, what's the issue here? Because somebody's got to be coaching or refereeing. I'm the referee here.
Yeah.
So I was like, all right, what's going on? Now picking up toys. Well, what kind of toy is it? Well, it's a toy that is staked in 5 feet with 5 foot stakes, bro. I mean, he's not going to take the toy out. I don't want him to. You know what I mean? So we got to talk about it first. But once we agree that he's getting a signature, then we got to talk to the worker. You mean like that day or the next day or the next day after that, just soon. Hey, Stockton, there's an issue here. if you don't pick up toys, man, we're gonna have a problem. You know, you can't. Whatever the issue is, you know, we might start taking houses off of you. We might whatever. Please pick up toys and trash on the properties. Talk to the worker. He still has a signature. He goes off and does his jobs. And if you know if the violation is bad enough, it doesn't really get resolved that month. Like he still get a signature. So let's say he still gets a signature because what he did was really bad. You know, let's say he mowed over a McDonald's paper bag and it fucking went everywhere, and he didn't clean it up. That's a pretty bad signature. But we talked to him. There's nothing he can really do anymore other than hopefully in the next one we can see if he did it. But that was so bad he's not getting the raise for that month, even though we talked to him. He technically could still have that signature the following month without it being erased because he hasn't proven that he's going to fix that issue. You see what I'm saying? It doesn't just go away.
Yeah. But
every month.
It's kind of hard to prove on the one.
Right, but I'm just going case by case.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like if he said, "Yeah, fine, I'll make sure to never do it," and just walk away, like, you know?
Yeah.
If he's like, "Yeah, you're right," boom. Maybe he took a picture next week at the house or something. Hey, I moved this. Took a picture, showed us that he's making an effort. All right, we'll delete it for the next month. But if we're not getting any feedback, we don't know. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And something could be really bad that we feel that that's like a 2 month, and we'll tell them, hey man, this is a 2 month holdback.
Or if you break a window.
Yeah, you broke a window, man. That's a 3-4 month holdback right there.
You might
man.
get fired for that.
Totally. But you know what I'm saying? This board is just a guide. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So here's on another note. We talked to Stockton. He mowed over a paper bag, Walmart, McDonald's bags, and I say that because you've seen those, and they go everywhere because it's like cardboard paper. It goes everywhere. And we talked to him, say, hey man, you got a signature on here that's not good, so that we're holding back as of right now your raise. So please get better. 3 houses down, he's showing pictures, videos. He's telling us, hey man, I'm moving the things, I'm moving the toys. I've even talked to the customer. I said, hey, can you please move the toys before we come every week? I'm here every Wednesday at 2 o'clock. He's showing he's changing. So we're going to erase it. He could still get the raise that month because he's showing progress.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what this board is all about. Let's see here. Never seen something like that on the board. Very interesting. It's not personal. That's the exact reason why we are removing it. I like the concept. I might try it if the P for P doesn't work for us. Yeah, I mean, and like I said, you'll have guys who they see the P for P and they're like, oh, I can get paid for 14 hours if I just finish by noon. Done.
Yeah.
And then we got guys, and then they don't trim, they don't edge, they just mow. Maybe they skip the back. We have had guys that skipped sections of yard for P, because in their argument is it didn't need mowing. The front did, so I focused on the front and left the back. Customers don't like that.
You can't charge them.
If you did not mow the back, you can't charge them.
You can't charge them.
Now on another note, if you do send like a detailed invoice and you have a policy of your company that's what you do, okay, fine. You know, there'll be somebody out there that says, yeah, well, I tell my customers, they sign a paper that says, if I don't have to mow the back, I don't have to as long as it looks good. Okay, fine. If you have that, cool, we don't. So our customers will be pissed if they find out we don't mow the side yard. And they paid for it. So you'll have guys that will take full advantage of you, and it will eat you up. Because you know you just paid this guy $400 extra this week, and you know the quality can't be good. But your hands are tied because the customers didn't complain. Or you didn't have somebody go look at it. And that's your fault. That's my fault. Right? So So anyway, that's kind of where we're going with this board, and also it kind of lets me know at all times how many people I need to hire, because I want to keep this board full. We want 10 mow guys, 6 garden guys, 2 fertilizer guys, and 5 sprinkler guys. So that's kind of like our goal, and that's it. That's our staff for this year. We'll live and die on that, because technically we pretty much have the trucks for all that minus 2. There's some of them need to be repaired, but we have them. We do need a new fertilizer truck if we do get another guy, but we do have a lot to fill in before we get that second person. And see, that's something that I could set up easily. You know, hey, we got 3 weeks to set up a fur truck, it'll be done.
Yeah.
Easily. The mow trucks are a little harder, but we have time. Because we actually have the 2 beds. We just need 2 trucks if we really wanted to.
We got the trucks.
You know, yeah. So, but I'm hoping to start buying new stuff for trucks. Anyway, with the mowing. But that's kind of what we've been going on. Normally I can see how long. Does this show how long?
It doesn't. It just says it's going all the way over, and there's no time limit.
It'll probably be on this side here. 91 minutes. Alright guys, well, this was our show today. I think we covered some good stuff.
Yes, we did.
So while I've got you here, why don't you reiterate what your kind of job is going to be this year?
So pretty much, I'm a mow guy. Pretty much, I'm going to look over all the properties to make sure if they are doing P for P or if they're just going hourly, make sure the quality's right. Last year, everybody was on speed. When I seen it, I was here for it. Go, go, go. Nobody's complaining. But this year, we're going to make sure we don't lose customers at the end of the week.
Exactly.
We're going to gain customers,
Yes.
but we're not going to lose customers.
Yes.
So mainly my job is going to be quality. I like to mow. Mowing's easy.
Yeah.
Mowing's easy. Like, there's a process, order of operation, whatever you call it. You get out, you edge, you trim, you mow, you blow, and you go. So pretty much, I'm going to make sure that these 10 mow guys are trained. We're not bringing in people that are already trained.
Right.
We're going to bring in people that aren't trained.
Yeah.
We're going to train them to our standards. So hopefully this year,
Which will be you training them.
yeah. So hopefully this year, when we do get the other 2 mow guys, we're up to 8. We're gonna get 2 more. A few of them already know what they're doing, but a few I see on there I don't even know. Get them guys, just get them mowing right, and start the season off making money, making people not losing customers is the main thing.
Exactly.
If we can keep those customers that we lost last year, we're gonna be fine this year.
So what are some of the things that you think quality needs to improve on?
The corners,
Okay.
fence lines. Don't rip a hole in the fence. Weed whacking it.
Right.
But you have to get it right.
Yeah.
Around all the bedding, the curbing. Some people like to just weed whack around the curbing.
Mm-hmm.
You can edge it too if you're careful.
Yeah.
I prefer to edge it. And then the mowers. If you want it to be fast, you get on a big mower.
Yeah.
You just have to watch for trash. It's simple. You just jump off. We don't have sit down mowers.
Right.
You're standing the whole time.
Yeah.
You just jump off, grab the trash. Mainly just taking care of the customer first. If something goes wrong and they call, we go back.
So that was one of the things when you were mowing back in the day, you would take out the trash. I remember
It was just a few people.
right.
Like
But that makes a big difference.
I'm not going to do that for every customer, but there was a couple
Yeah.
customers that were super old,
Yeah.
and they would say,
Well, I bet you didn't ask them to do it. They asked you.
no, yeah, they'd say, hey,
You know what I mean? So
trash
like,
out?
if everybody asked you,
I couldn't do it.
you get it. I bet you still try.
Um,
And I'm not saying there's a right or wrong answer here,
yeah.
but like, of course, everybody's not gonna ask you.
Yeah.
But you should at least some point know their names.
I like to keep a good rapport.
So like when you had, let's say on a day back in the day when you were mowing, and you had 10 houses that day, because you were doing one-man crews at 1.2
Yeah.
with me, even back then.
And we did.
When was that? Like 8 years ago?
2017.
So yeah, one-man crew. Let's say you did 10 houses. How many of those 10 would you say you knew the customer? Like,
I knew
maybe you didn't know their name, but you're like, "Hi, I'm here," you know, and they talk to you.
I pretty much knew all 10.
All of them. Always.
I was doing 60 houses
Every day.
60 houses a week. I pretty much knew every customer. If they were coming out, I met them once, they'd come out every time.
Yeah.
Sometimes you gotta stop the customer too, because
Of course.
they're always asking for extra stuff.
Yeah.
And honestly, I tell them, hey, just call the office.
Yeah.
You know, we can do it, but I can't physically. I gotta
Right.
mow your lawn right now.
But do you think it's a good idea for the customers to talk to you? Talk to a Mo guy.
I do for a minute. Can't sit there.
Yeah, but you can't also tell them like, "Hey,
can't tell
talk
them
to
no.
me for a minute."
Yeah. Well, you can't.
Yeah, you can.
Once you get to know them,
You can.
I did. Once I got to know them, you know.
You can, for sure. I think you have that ability to say, "Hey, I hear you. I actually have a big list,
Yeah.
so I got to finish."
Yeah.
But not everybody has that ability. Some people are just like,
Yeah.
"Customers talking to me, gotta listen.
Yeah.
I can't move." You know, because when I was there, customers would talk to me, and I'm still fucking trimming while I'm talking to them to
Yeah.
let them know I'm still. I hear you, but I gotta finish. Or if I'm working on sprinklers, I'm like, yeah, I'm talking to them with my head down. Like I'm like, I hear you, but I'm still working. But there's I know a lot of people because I see it
They
every
won't-
day.
They won't do it.
You talk to them, they just sit there. They can't move until you're done.
Yeah.
You know, and so, but I still think it's a good idea for the Mo guys to talk to the customers.
That's why you keep the same houses on the same people constantly.
That's when they stay. That's when customers are like, you know what? He didn't do it. He put a rut in my yard, but that's John.
But he raked it.
That's John. He raked it, but he still put a rut in my yard. I'm not happy, but it's John, so I'm okay. Kind of like with us when we have good, strong performer that comes in on Friday and Saturday without complaining, and they're late or they broke a trimmer. Hey, that's Marlon. I'm okay. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So
They do the same thing.
Yeah, and they want to see the same person.
They want to see the same person for sure, but they also want to be able to like know they can talk to you and you're not going to like be rude.
Yeah.
You know? So that's why I would like to see more of that. You know, I have some Spanish speakers and they still talk to our guys, like our employee, our customers, and they only speak Spanish, but they talk to them through like, hey, I'm here, you know, like
Yeah,
they'll use their hands and stuff, and that helps too. You know, but then you got workers, both English and Spanish, they don't want to talk to anybody.
Yeah.
You know, and when they do, they're like, I've had workers where customers have talked to them, and the customer calls the office and says, I was talking to him, and he acted like I wasn't there.
Yeah.
And the dude speak English. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we got to make sure this year that
So that's part of the training too, I think.
make sure that all the Mo guys, especially because there's so many of them, they just get to know the customer, get to know the expectations.
Yeah, I actually feel like just talking to you now, like when a Mo guy goes to a property, they should knock and say, I'm your Mo guy.
Maybe the first time.
Yeah, the first time.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying the first time Mo even, like that is different, like get the job done, but when you know it's on your route, and it's the first time you've done on the route, not first time Mo, you shouldn't talk to a customer, just get it done. But when it's on your route and the day's easier, you should be knocking and saying, hey, I'm your Mo guy, just wanted you to know.
While we're talking about that, I did notice a customer specifically was asking one of the Mo guys not to use the big mower, and the customer went back in, and he was like, hey, performance pay. He was like, I have to use the big mower.
Yeah.
So he backed it out and he just mowed it, and I'm sitting there, and I was like, Freddie's my brother. It's his business. But these dudes, literally, were not listening to the customer.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. So, and that's tricky too.
yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, we're gonna have to use a little mower if they want to use a little mower, right?
You gotta charge more, obviously.
Yeah, you gotta charge
You gotta
more.
charge more.
That's the thing. It's like, it's all about communication. Customer, I hear you. Here's what I would do. I go, I don't know who mowed it last time, but let me mow it this time. And if you don't like it, I'll make the office do it for free. But let me show you that I can do it, make it look good. You know, because I can make a grass look better with the big mower than a little mower.
For sure.
I can, but not everybody. You know what I'm saying? And homeowners, they don't know that. Or they can say, all right, I can, no problem. I do, like we have a policy at the office, they'll get mad at me if I'm on a property too long. So I have to tell them that I'm using a little mower once I finish. And they may call you to change the price. That's all I'm going to let you know.
Yeah.
And then that handles that too. They go, well, fine, just use the big mower. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But just make it look good. But I don't care if they use a little mower, really. A lot of these prices are designed with them using a little mower.
Yeah.
But I know it's hard.
I probably won't use it.
Yeah.
Now that things have changed over the years, you know. When you first started, it was little mower. Then we went to big mowers, and then back
Yeah.
to little mowers.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So and now it's all big mowers.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I went back to little mowers just for price reasons, just for
Yeah.
cost.
Yeah.
Because I thought it was just too expensive to buy grandstands, and it was a lot cheaper to buy a little mower. You know? But yeah, it's.
I remember when you switched to little mowers and got rid of the grandstands, and I was like,
Yeah.
this is gonna be way hard.
Yeah.
Push mowing all day.
Yeah, it was, and it worked, you know. But in 2020, we had to go back, man. I had guys limping. They were limping,
I bet.
and I was like, damn, I gotta get them a mower. Hey Freddie, I started doing About Me cards for the guys. It shows 3 or 4 things they enjoy doing in the task. Oh, and it asks for a review. It worked pretty good for a bit when they were putting them out. Yeah. Yeah, we need to do something like that too, for sure. Yeah, we're in the process of coming up with like a book. I'm making a book with all our services on it. And I want to have it in a folder, so we have folders, we already have them, but we don't have a book yet. We're kind of making it. And I want to have it ready for the first of the year. So I wanted a folder, so like when you go to a house, a brand new, like your first time house, you'll probably have a note that says give them a welcome packet. And you have to knock on the door and tell them, hey, I'm here, I'm your new Mo guy. Here's a welcome packet. And it's going to show like, as much information that the office would like them to see, like these are all the services we do. This is your Mo guy, maybe. You know, we can add that in there. I didn't think about that before, but also this is our billing policy, you know. And this is stuff about the company, you know, whatever. But and here are some coupons for us. Boom, and you'll give them that.
To every new customer.
Yeah. Yeah, so we want to give that to every new customer, and it would be nice if like the Mo guys were giving it to them. Really, it's going to be just for the Mo guys, for Mo customers.
Yeah.
Because when we have them, then we can do so many other services for them. So we need them to know that we also.
Well, that's where all the work's at.
Yeah.
It's going to actually spread out.
Exactly.
It's going to spread into the other areas. You know.
Yeah. So anyway, anything else you want to say or do or?
I feel like this meeting went good.
Yeah, it went really good. There was one thing when you were talking about the speed. We'll just end it on that. Is we were trying to buy this property this year. Well, last year. So we definitely dealt with issues if customers called in. They said, hey, the quality's not looking good. Boom, we'll handle that. But we weren't like hardcore looking at like when you were going out with them and you noticed quality issues, you noticed that we weren't like attacking it like we will now.
Yeah. Because
we just needed the revenue to buy the shop. We were under time crunch to buy the shop, so we had to do whatever it took to get the shop. But whenever there was a complaint, we definitely handled it, so the customer was happy. But if they never called in, we were kind of like, well, you know, like we didn't tell our workers to do a bad job. Obviously, do a good job. And if they had to go back, it did affect their performance pay. So in a way that it just kind of worked itself out. But we weren't going to be like we are now. Like we're going to be like, hey man, this property's bad. You're getting a check mark on under quality here. So that's what I'll say about that. But so that's over with.
Yeah.
Quality.
Back to quality.
Because the more quality you have, the more customers you're gonna have. You know, the less quality you have, you'll end up with less customers than you started with at the beginning of the year, and that's bad. I'm starting to realize that that's not good. So our goal as a company is to have more customers every week than we did the week before. All right, guys, that's it for now. I want to know if there's any questions you guys have for the next video topic, and we'll go over it. All right, talk to you guys later. See ya. Thanks, John.
Yeah.